Morning, Congressman.
Morning, Emma.
All right. I'm sure you've now seen this news coming from the Supreme Court. Of course, this is a conservative court now deciding. Of course, Chief Justice John Roberts also voting against repealing DACA at this point.
Well, actually, what the opinion says is that the Department of Homeland Security may rescind DACA. They have every right to do so. The court, the majority opinion, did not like the procedure. They felt that there had not been strict adherence to the rules procedure that are required by statute to rescind a rule. So it isn't necessarily that they felt that the Trump administration could not rescind DACA. It was that they felt they didn't follow the letter of the law in rescission, which is interesting because DACA itself was implemented without formal rulemaking. It was implemented by a letter by the former DHS Secretary Janet Napolitano.
How do you think this could impact Trump supporters as we head towards the November election, as we've seen the more conservative court ending up ruling in favor of these opinions? We also had the other day the decision to rule that workers cannot be fired for their sexual orientation.
Yeah, I think that a lot of the conservatives are upset, but they don't seem to be, in the conversations I've had, they're not upset with Trump per se. They're upset with Gorsuch primarily on the previous decision, and certainly Chief Justice Roberts has been kind of been all over the board anyway. So that's a George W. Bush appointment. So I think people say, okay, Roberts, he couldn't do anything about, but they're more ticked off about Gorsuch and the Title VII ruling than they are with President Trump.
Yeah. Interesting to watch all these decisions being made, of course, at the time when we're dealing with a global pandemic in the country as well, and unrest from a racial standpoint and police reform. So there's a lot to talk to you about. And let's start with this. The majority of the country, improving in regards to those coronavirus cases, but 10 states are now seeing their highest 7-day average of new coronavirus cases per day since the pandemic hit statewide. One of those is Arizona. Physicians there reporting a domino effect in many emergency rooms as hospitals are beginning to get overwhelmed. So what's being done in the state to really control this spread?
Well, the governor is given authority to ask and has asked everybody to start wearing masks again. And that's really been the highlight. And he's also asked people to watch the number of people that get together, so watch the number of people in your gatherings. So I think that's really where he's gone. And the numbers, Emma, I will just tell you that there's so many metrics to look at. I was just looking at hospitalizations, available beds, available ventilators, age demographics, etc. So there's so many metrics to look at, but there's no doubt that the one that I look at the most is what's the number of people getting tests who test positive, and we've edged up 0.2 of a point, and so that's important because that represents more people displaying or getting in and getting tested for coronavirus.
Sure. As we do continue to have more access to tests, you would, as a result, see more cases being diagnosed potentially. We appreciate you coming on today's program. That's Arizona Republican Congressman Andy Biggs. Congressman, thank you so much.
Thanks, Emma.